What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 2017. This is episode 4 on the Lone Oak Farm map. I think I actually called it Lone Oak Farms, I want to say. But just for clarification, if we go to the map here and we go to fruit types, it clearly says Lone Oak Farm, singular, not plural. So that's my bad. I think even the thumbnail says Lone Oak Farms, but you guys will just kind of have to disregard that because that's false information there. But today's episode, what we have to do is sell our soybeans. I'm not super worried about waiting until, you know, our prices are as high as they can possibly be to sell. We're going to sell in increments of 50,000 because that's the maximum amount that our Chevrolet C70 can hold. But what I went ahead and did off camera is fertilized both fields. So both 44 and 35 here to the left of me have both been fertilized. There's one fertilized state left, so we'd have to fertilize once more before they are 100% fertilized. Also, we're negative money. We are hurting bad. We're negative $987. So we couldn't buy anything even if we wanted to. And if you guys are wondering why I was just driving my tractor, it's because I was doing a little landscaping. But we'll get into that some other time. So first, I think I try not to tab around so much to vehicles because it's just not the most realistic thing in the world. Walking is the most realistic thing in the world. So we're gonna get here in the C70, get her all fired up. She does take a little bit to fire up, so get a drink, make yourself comfortable, get some popcorn. And I want to say, that's turned on right there when she starts putting. All right, and then is this? Yeah, this is where we'll actually fill up. God, the steering on this thing's so squirrely. Okay, so we want, not canola, soybeans. Soybeans are totally in season right now. I have seasons for the Midwest turned on. I don't know if it actually changes anything for the map if you do have a modded map installed, but with seasons mod, I think it's pretty much universal. So we'll see. But if you go here and look at like the peak price, it's somewhere in between 1,500 and 1,900, which is not the case if we go to the store. You can see here we're at 1,300 and 1,300. So I don't really know what that number suggests. If it's maybe when it's blue listed like this, like that's it's just really hot right then. Like they need that. The Hollister potatoes, they need potatoes bad. So their prices are through the roof. They're just trying to get potatoes ASAP. Actually, let's figure out where we're gonna go first. I haven't even figured that out yet. So Agri XJS is 13. We're definitely going Lone Wolf. And actually, if I remember right, is that, I think, yeah, Lone Wolf should be, yeah, just south of me. So if we should be able to take the back roads, I would think. We'll go this way first. Yeah, the steering on the C70 is just not that good. It's just really, really touchy. And especially because I'm using, you know, keyboard and mouse, it's not the greatest thing in the world to be playing farm sim with, but maybe someday I can upgrade to a proper steering wheel and like shifter and all that. But I would need, I think there's a gearbox mod, which looks pretty sweet. I don't know, oh geez, I don't know how well it works, or even if it can like convert all your vehicles to having a gearbox, or if it's just a select few that maybe mods wouldn't work with gearbox mod, but who knows. We'll climb that mountain when that comes around. But if I remember right, that over there, geez, I gotta watch where I'm going to. That over there looks to be Lone Wolf Co. If that's what it's called. Now I can't even remember. I'm like Dory from Finding Nemo. I just have short-term memory loss. Something I've noticed too about FS19 is that your mirrors actually work all the time. There's no like spottiness with them. I know sometimes my on like the non-modded models, Only when I back up will I get a mirror, but otherwise they're non-existent. Almost hit that Bronco. Okay, so we got our grain. Do we go in that big thing there? Yeah, that looks right to me. There's a grate there, isn't there? Caution. Drive slowly. Why would you want to do that? Okay, we'll pull up. Try to get as center as possible, but we won't be too picky. We should be able to... That's the one thing I hate about this. The C70 just has a really tiny little grain port on the back, but I don't think it actually makes it go any slower than it would if it was just a straight dump trailer. So we should be all right. But look at the money's climbing. We're doing good. 50,000, 55,000, 60,000, 67,000. So a $68,000 harvest income, and that's only from 50,000 bushels or utils or whatever the units is that they use on this. I have messed around with FS19 a little bit, like I said. Speaking of which, episode 1 for Lone Oak actually just came out today at noon 30. So I'm pretty excited to get the first episode up, but I think I might have mentioned in episode 1, like, oh yeah, Farming Simulator 19 comes out the 20th. But by the time that video came out, today is the 26th. So a little behind there, but no big deal. Just kind of run with it. So now we actually have to go back to the farm, fill this back up, and then I wanted to check on fertilizing, because I know you can only fertilize once. God, this thing's just so loud. I'm sorry, guys. I think you can only fertilize once every growth cycle, which I've already fertilized. So I think we actually have to get our soybeans that are in the ground to grow a little bit more before we can fertilize again, but I'll go ahead and try it, just see if it works. And if you're here to comment about my speeding on these back roads, ain't no back road got a speed limit sign, all right? You can go as fast as you want as long as it's dirt or gravel, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's cut through here. And then my tractor's actually back there. Oh my God. So we'll cut this corner. There we go. And I'm trying to do more cab view. I did see one person left me a comment and was like, hey, you should try more cab view. And then the next day the comment was gone. So I don't know, maybe they were like, oh, I don't think he'll like that if I comment that. But I love it. Please comment, please like. You can subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell. You know, we're all friends here. Okay, so let's see. Fertilizer. This is on the 1455. This is a good old tractor. And I found out some new news is that they brought this model over. I don't know if it was like a really quick conversion or what was going on there, but this model is actually an FS19 as well, which is awesome. I really love these tractors. They're cute little guys. You know, they don't have much for horsepower. 145, I think, is what they're at, but man, they're great. Especially just for this one, it's got the front loader attachment. It's a great helper for when we start to get baling. I want to see if that worker will get hired out. I don't think he will. Yeah, no. So that means we can't fertilize right now, which is okay. But as soon as we're done selling all the grain, I'll have to run the clock a little bit and get the crop to grow where we want it to fertilize again. So we can just go put this thing away. We're not going to need it for a little while, but we do have enough money to be able to actually fill up the fertilizer tank again. We're definitely going to need to do that, especially when we get onto field 44, because that's the biggest one we have right now. 35, it's not too big, but it's not small by any means. All right, we'll fire the C70 back up, and we'll go fill her up again. Oops, sorry. Realism. Gotta wait for it to fully fire up. There it goes. Okay, you can definitely hear the sound difference there when it's just idling and when it's fully fired up. I don't know why that is. I don't know what engines came in the C70s back in the day, but this thing is pretty sweet. I mean, this is a cool little model. I really like the three-dimensional Chevy emblem in the grill. I think that's a really cool touch. and even like the handles and the mirrors and everything looks really, really good. So whoever made this mod, I don't know. I apologize. I don't know, but it's really, really good work. Okay, so I keep hitting the wrong dang button. There we go. Fill her up again. And even the sounds and everything, or like where the exhaust would actually come out, you can kind of see it. It's right underneath that main frame rail right there, like where the drive line goes. That's pretty realistic, though. I think if I remember right, on the farm, that's where the exhaust came out. My grandparents actually used to have a truck very, very similar to this in red. I want to say that theirs was a GMC, though. I don't think it was the Chevy version, but, you know, tomato, tomato, it's a GM truck. So if we want, we can take the back roads again. Otherwise, it's going to be a while before we actually get to Lone Oak Co. And we should probably check, because if I remember right, yes, prices do go down. So I'm thinking we should go to Agri now, just so we can get a slightly higher price. It's not going to be much of a difference, but it might be enough to, you know, put us over the 100,000 mark. We only have 45,000 bushels this time around, so we're definitely not going to get as high as an income as we did just this past time. What was it, 68,000? I'm not going to, you know, try to mental math this out, because my mental math is just trash. But weird flex, I know. But I'm thinking we're probably going to surpass 100,000, right? That's only a 5,000 bushel difference, if that. I mean, we're at 91%, so we're not quite at 5,000. It'd be, what, 4,500? God, when I'm editing this, I know I'm gonna just like, dude, why did you say that? Don't say numbers. Don't do mental math. You're not good at it. But this area here on the map is very, very pretty, and I should probably slow down a little bit. I just really like the tree overhang here. And then we'll actually come to a stop, you know. Abide by the law. Got another Ford Bronco coming. Don't be making any OJ jokes in the comments. I don't want to hear it. All right? The Ford truck. Should we pass him? Oh yeah, we're good to pass. We can pass him. How bad would you feel, right? How bad would you feel? You're driving down the road and an old C70 with a full bed of grain just zooms right by you, going like 45, 50 miles an hour, and you're just putting along. You'd feel bad, right? You'd definitely rethink some things. Okay, and I think that's the place we're after. Is that like an Impala? What was that? Looked like an old cop car almost. And there's the store. That's where we have to drive all of our equipment from there all the way back to the farm. It's kind of a trek. Okay, and then we should be able to come in here. This is from when I played this on this map on Xbox, actually driving like the semi-trucks with the big long trailers, the big long grain trailers, trying to navigate through this area. Here, I'll start dumping, I guess. But trying to navigate through this tight space here was a nightmare. So first of all, you have to cut that front corner really, really tight, come all the way through here, cut this corner, and then once you get to this back side, look at this. Super tight turn again. Super tight turn again. Here's the weigh station, which no one uses. I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, because it'll actually tell you what your weight is. We can do that, I guess. We can see what the weight of the C70 is. Look at that, 60,000. So we're at 128,000 for our total monies, plural. And then let's see if the weight system actually works. Oh yeah, look at that. So we're at 8,000. So if there's actually like grain in here, it should update this and it should say, you know, this is 8,000. I want to believe that that's pounds. I don't know if that's an accurate number for a truck of this size, but I'd like to believe it's pretty accurate. That's probably something that the mod creators have to put in too, is the actual weight of the truck. Oh god. Just doing a little off-road in here. Go back into cab view. That seemed a little bit easier to navigate. So now all we have to do is go back to the farm. We're gonna do a little speeding too. You know, we're pretty amped. We got 128 G's in the bank. And then what's next? What do we have to do next? We do have to do the fertilizer. We can't really buy much with 128,000. I want to say too, in a previous video, I think I might have said that hopefully 95,000 bushels of soybeans would put us like somewhere over the $200,000 mark. Obviously that didn't happen. I think my hopes might have been just a little bit too high. God, this is hard, man. And a huge bump there. Also with FS19, I do want to do a series on it, but it looks kind of finicky and kind of buggy as of late. So especially with the terrain function, man, I was really let down with that whole like terrain editing system that they were talking about putting into the game. They did implement parts of it, but not all of what I was kind of hoping for. So I was a little let down with that. Hopefully they do a patch later on down the road and, you know, it gets a little bit better. But for right now, it's all right. It's still playable, just as, you know, FS17 is. Not a whole lot of modding going on quite yet, so that's something I'm definitely looking forward to as well. But if we're gonna start a series on FS19, my first series on it, you know, I want to do it right. So I want to have mods. I want to have full terrain control. Maybe not full terrain control, I guess, but for the most part, I'd like to be able to, you know, build my farm. And I built a pretty decent one, but I had to do some editing to the what's it called? It was like the height, the terrain height or something. Basically just edited the file in Photoshop, and it worked out pretty well for me, but it was definitely a lot harder than just playing around. I don't know that this is going to be a super long episode today, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Really, I just wanted to hop on quick. I do have a lot of things going on right now, but I will have a bunch more episodes after this one. This is only episode 4, so there will be more to come, but that's going to do it for this episode today, guys. Thanks for coming out and watching the video and leaving a like and hitting that subscribe and the bell button. I do appreciate that a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.